welcome back here. I'm Ari Lex here with Adrian Sullivan,
Hello,
and we're
everybody.
about to begin the final round of Swiss, round 9 of Star City Games Open Philadelphia of the standard portion.
Absolutely. We've been here for about 10 hours of Magic so far.
Yeah.
And we're going to give you at least about 2 more.
So it looks like we have Gerry Thompson on one side of this matchup against Dan Musser, and this is Callblade versus Twin Pod.
Yep.
Twin Pod's been tearing it up this event.
I think so. I mean, it's definitely rivaling Callblade for the most popular deck that we have featured in terms of various different variants. Now, this deck is the version that is Fauna Shaman version. And let's see, does it have...
Hero of Oxidridge?
Here we go.
We were looking for the same card, right?
Yeah.
Yep. 3 Cobras, not 4. Other than that, I think we featured this before when we featured Chris Cronenberger.
That's correct. Now, the only thing I don't really particularly care for with this deck, for the most part, I like Vengevines in the list.
I don't like 3.
I don't like 3 Lotus Cobras. I think you want 4.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. Now, on the other side of the table, we've got Gerry Thompson playing kind of very similar to what he was advocating in an article recently, except for in that article he was talking about Mental Misstep replacing Spell Pierce. It looks like what he's done is actually gone back to Spell Pierce.
Well, I think with all the birthing pods, that's been a very good choice.
Yeah.
I think the card that's awesome in this list is Twisted Image.
Yeah. Times 1 in the main, and in the board, 1.
Yep.
Now,
sometimes
Twisted Image doesn't really cost you much if you're not relying on it too heavily.
You know, it cycles when it's bad. Mike Jacob goes on and on about all the virtues of that card. You know, he used to be all about it, you know, you attack their Jace with your Stoneforge, you twist the image, it dies because it's Jace Belair and then -1. But, you know, now it kills, you know, every Tempered Steel guy, it feels like Signal Quest, dead. Spell Skype, dead. Ornithopter, dead. You know, Deceiver Exarch, he does not have the patented Mike Jacob special of just, you know, Mortar Pod plus Twisted Image to kill a Deceiver Exarch, but, you know, there's just so many things you can do with Twisted Image that just really throw people off. Counters the Teetering Peaks. It's just such minimal investment for such high potential value.
And one of the things is that if you're not running, say, 4 of them, right? If you're running 1, it is not going to get in your way. It's not going to do something where you're like, oh, man, I had to cast my Twisted Images, and I didn't have time to cast other things, but I was hunting for a land.
To target, you know, all these other things.
Yeah, like it's kind of nice. One of the things that I see happening a lot more recently are these very, very small singletons that are kind of very, very minor investments that don't really get in the way of what the deck does.
Yeah.
And gives you extra value. I mean, this was
this Consecrated Sphinx.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just a guy. It can be an endgame play where you don't want it, but sometimes it's just bigger. It goes over the top.
Right. And you don't have the Jace, the Mind Sculptor, in order to be able to make the filtering through your deck something that you can do more aggressively like you used to be able to. But you do have Ponder, Preordain, you do have Shuffle Effects, and you do have Jace Bellerin, so that you can find it.
We were talking about this earlier. Gerry is running 3 Preordain, 1 Ponder.
Right. And now, what's happening with that? I mean, if I'm correct, I think that what's probably happening is Gerry feels like they're very close cards. And like I said, this is just conjecture. Perhaps Gerry feels like they're very close cards, and he's curious, is Ponder actually perhaps more appropriate in this deck?
He does have some fetch lands to complement the Squadron Hawks and making Ponder into a bit more of a Preordain than it is.
Right. I mean, one of the things with most people that are playing Preordains, they already know that the turn 1 Preordain is a thing you do when you're aggressively hunting for land, or if you're not playing very well.
Yeah. So maybe Ponder gets better in a world where people realize that, hey, maybe it's not a turn 1 play.
Exactly.
So let's see what else are we looking at.
I mean, here. Gerry, in terms of this matchup, actually looks like he's pretty well set up. He has 2 Day of Judgments in the main. He has 3 Oblivion Rings, which are quite good against Birthing Pod. And then he has Into the Royal as well, so that he can do little tricks if he gets to the 5 mana mark with the Oblivion Ring into the Royal. But even without that, it's just useful to be able to build off some tempo from an opponent that can sometimes just explode all over you.
Right. To be fair, I was talking to Caleb Druid, who just unfortunately got in, his Greyhound bus got delayed or something, so he missed the event today. But he was saying that, I was saying, oh, we saw this Birthing Pod. He's like, yeah, I expected that, you know. an old Callblade meta, I was playing Birthing Pod because
Yeah.
you know what beat Callblade? Birthing Pod.
Yeah.
That card ends the game. It makes it so that your opponent is in a situation where they're just getting further and further behind every turn, regardless of what they do. Same with Fauna Shaman too.
I remember talking with him
both of those.
at Indy, and at Indy he was running the Birthing Pods there, and his assertion was essentially that you could take the Blue Manji style engine and just push some Birthing Pods into it, and then once you do that, you change things. Oh my goodness gracious me!
Repair.
A repair.
Let's run that back. Okay, so we won't be seeing Gerry Thompson, or we may. We will be seeing Gerry Thompson. Okay.
Oh, and what are we gonna? Just Gerry Thompson. That's all we know for now.
Oh, we might
Are
be
you
seeing
kidding
Gerry
me?
versus Alex. Level 8 duel. Do you know if Edgar Flores won his last match? Did you hear anything out there?
I did not.
See if we can get an update on that. Oh yeah, we do have pairings that we can look at. Aha. Looks
Table
like
13. I think that was
Edgar
a loss.
lost his last round, so Edgar is not in contention for top 8. But Gerry and Alex are looking to chase his current standing at the top, or current place at the top of the standings there.
Okay, so we're waiting to find out. There we go. We've got the other opponent. And what is it? It is indeed Alex. Alex v. Gerry. A level 8 duel.
Yep.
Perhaps.
So it's Edgar Blade versus Gerry Blade, it looks like. Edgar 70, or Edgar 60 from last week, plus a couple minor sideboard changes.
Yeah, like I think he's like 73 or 72 from the last list.
It's 73. He's got a Frost Titan and a Ratchet Bomb extra on the board. Yeah, 73 out of 75 of last week, and let's see if Gerry T has managed to next level the metagame here. Yeah, he's cut the Deprive, and he's cut... There was one other card, and I cannot remember what it was. It might have been the third mental misstep. Deprive and third misstep for a Frost Titan and a Ratchet Bomb, is what it looks like.
Here's one of the questions you have to ask yourself when you look at this. So, using Edgar's list, Alex has 3 Jaces to Gerry's 2. He's got 3 Dismembers and 3 Into the Royals to keep the board a little bit more clear. And he's got 3 Sword of Feast and Famine.
Sounds like Gerry lost round 1 and is just 1 out from there.
Wow, yeah.
But I don't think Dismember is very good in this matchup.
Well, I mean, the Dismember in order...
It does kill a Mary Angel. Gerry
Exactly.
does have that guy.
And it also...
Alex does have these spell skies that are going to get twisted.
I just kind of wonder, like, what's going to happen here? I mean, I feel like Alex has more tempo cards and has more card advantage cards.
I think the third Jace... Let's see. Third Jace is better for Alex. He has no Oblivion Rings, so Gerry actually has Planeswalker. Into the world, yeah, absolute Planeswalker advantages on Gerry's side.
I don't know if I agree with that. Like, he does not have Oblivion Rings, but he does have 2 more Planeswalkers, and he's got 3 Into the Royals.
Yeah, but Gerry also is Into the Royal for Planeswalkers.
I'm talking about Into the Royal for Oblivion Ring, actually. So
yeah, but that's going to come right back down. It's not going to really last long. So I'm not really counting this as an absolute answer there.
Oh, I wasn't talking even about absolute, so...
I think that, I think Gerry might be favored here, especially because a Mary Angel goes over the top.
I mean, to my mind, I feel like they both have cards that interact with each other. I think that the Spell Skites are the weak link in Alex's deck. And
the Consecrated Sphinx is a huge game ender in Gerry's
yeah,
deck.
absolutely. I don't know that Gerry has any weak links, but in terms of the composition of his deck. But what I do think is that Alex has more card advantage cards, which can be significant.
Just more specifically, Jace Valerian.
Well, more Jace and Sword of Feast and Famine.
Sure. I don't know how often Sword connects against the Mary Angel and Squadron Knockout. So Gerry on the left, Alex on the right. Alex Bertoncini sporting an MTG Mom pin made by Ben Weinberg.
Right. We shuffle up. Now, both these players, because they are racing for this Player of the Year, I mean, this is an important match for them, even if top 8 weren't on the line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like...
They're both about an open win behind Edgar.
Yep.
Which, incidentally, is about where he was at a week ago. Everything was pretty tied up.
You're right.
I think the numbers we had earlier were 186 Alex, 212 Edgar, and I don't think we had a number on Gerry. But we can look that up real fast. Should be on the Star City site, actually.
Absolutely.
Okay, players, sorry for the confusion there with the features a little bit. We're ready to go. Welcome to the last round. I wish everybody the best of luck. I'd like to remind you very quickly there is no die rolling at that time.
No die rolling.
Any randomization method.
If you just scroll down on this page, it should be there.
Also, if you have any questions about
Not anymore, not anymore.
Points and standings, there we
or
go.
anything like that into the top 32 or whatever it is, please call the judge.
So, yep.
We prefer-
Oh, Gerry is way behind. Gerry is 154. So he's multiple open wins
Good luck
behind.
in the final round.
And particularly if you put into context that Alex is going to get some points today.
Yeah.
Gerry starts it off.
With like Celestial Colonnade.
Inkmouth from Alex.
Gerry has the turn 2 Hawk. Finding 2 more.
Alex has got turbo turbo no color.
Yep. Tectonic Edge. Gerry gets in for 1. Some more Hawks coming into play. But it looks like he might not have the land drop here. He's debating whether to search. Gerry has a timely reinforcements, which doesn't seem so timely this game.
End of the turn. Dismember.
Yep. And Gerry, this looks like a bit of a mediocre draw from both players that might turn out interesting.
Another no color. And
Sort
a
of
sword,
Feast of Famine.
which can actually hop onto a Blinky if he has another colorless land.
Gerry did draw Celestial Colonnade. Looks like he's
What
going
a
to play.
strange pair of keeps.
Yeah, all colorless lands. Well, 2 landers are reasonable, but sometimes you just don't get there. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Island. And that Hawk is getting Abyssed. Probably. Actually, Gerry's thinking about it, you know. How much is Alex going to actually do to me with those lands?
Abyss.
Looks like he might have an Oblivion Ring for that sword. Oh, he drew a Tectonic Edge? Yeah, he has an Oblivion Ring, I think. And a Jace Balloon, debating which one's the...
Wow. Jace, draw, protect. Lays a Tectonic Edge.
Ooh. If Alex has a Dismember and a land here, things could get interesting, but... Is that another Tectonic Edge? This is just a very strange game.
Activates.
Yep.
Lands. Equip. Attack who?
Probably Gerry. I think the mana's relevant because you just double Tech Edge in here.
I agree. Or at least single Tech Edge, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Probably Tech Edging the Tech Edge. He's like, wait a second, I've got something. A Spell Pierce
Bang.
stops that, and now it's just maybe he texts Gerry again,
Yeah.
and then Gerry has to think about whether that Hawk blocks.
Not really thinking here, I think. I think you just have to stop it because that Tectonic Edge is going to halt things a little bit. You got Jace. Gerry's a bit on the... Well, Gerry's off the beat down here, I'd be willing to say. He's down 3 Hawks right now. Gerry's debating whether he wants to up the Jace or down the Jace, depending on whether he wants to stay out of Nexus range. Chooses
Goes up.
East Draw. Yep.
Gideon Gerard. not be terrible here. I don't know if he has that. I'm just
Does not
throwing
look
out.
like it. There's only one in his deck, so
5 mana. Oblivion Ring with 2 mana available, and then the 2 mana makes a Squadron Hawk.
yep. And suddenly, in the span of a turn, Gerry turns back to being ahead.
Into the Royal, the Oblivion Ring with a land would mean he could activate the Blink Moth or Ink Moth and then untap everything again.
Yeah. Well, he'd be able to attack. Looks like just a preordained, though.
No extra land, and both on top.
Presumably,
Wow, both
land.
on top.
There's a land.
And 2 kinds
Suddenly
of color there.
we have this. Yeah, suddenly we have a fully interactive game. Alex is probably going to cast his own Squadron Hawk here. Tectonic Edge.
Tectonic Edge is the edge.
Yep. Oh, Spellskite.
Wow.
Interesting.
Gerry draws.
Looks like Gerry's pretty heavy on land now.
I think that was another Oblivion Ring I saw in Gerry's hand. Just waiting to figure out where Gerry's going to go with this. He's got a fair number of lands in his hand. He lays a Seachrome Coast, says go, holds back a Squadron Hawk.
Jace had 3 Squadron Hawk in play, 4 mana for Gerry, 2 Alex's, 2 Nexuses, Tectonic Edge, White, Glacial Fortress Island, and a Spellskite. The Spellskite's going to get interesting if Alex is Into the Royal.
Celestial Colonnade.
Which Alex does in fact have an Into the Royal.
Squadron Hawk.
Yep.
3 mana back. Is that Gerry's last Squadron Hawk?
Mm-hmm. The other 3 died to sword attacks, and it looks like that's getting mana leaks here,
Right.
which Alex pays. Hawk's gonna resolve, getting.
All 3 Hawks, I believe.
I did not count his hand size, but I'm assuming that's
It's
what
pretty
he's
small.
looking for.
And there it is. And here's maybe a sword.
No, it's 4,
5.
5. Gideon.
Gideon. Times 1 in Gerry's deck.
That guy is awesome here.
Mostly tapped down here. Gerry has an island open. One of the things we talked about in an earlier match is how somebody left open a Celestial Colonnade, which was like double value for his opponent, who was able to, you know, potentially Tectonic Edge it and deny the blue mana for that turn.
Yeah. Gerry opts to leave up his non-Tectonic Edge.
Yeah, like these are
Spell Pierce.
small things that people do that, you know, yes, he now can't represent for Condemn, but he doesn't have it anyway.
Yep. I've definitely lost. I lost that mistake once in Extended and just decided I was never going to lose to it again.
Into the Royal, no kicker.
Bouncing Gideon. Looks like Gerry has another Into the Royal and an Oblivion Ring in hand. Or Into the Royal and an Oblivion Ring in hand, not another.
Celestial Colonnade from Alex. Tectonic Edge. Taking out a Colonnade from Gerry Thompson. Attack the Jace Bellerin for Uno. And Gerry trades.
Yeah, that Hawk's probably worth less than a card here. Alex representing Mana Leak.
Gerry draws a Mana Leak. So I see Into the Royal, Mana Leak, Gideon Jura,
I know there's an Oblivion Ring that
Oblivion
I saw.
Ring. So that's 4 of the cards. Scalding Tarn, that's 5 of Gerry's cards.
He has 6. And has not used Jace yet.
Now, Alex, with his set of plays there, he has represented that he has a Mana Leak in hand.
I think that he has to at this point. If Gideon sticks, then Alex is...
Both draw Sword of Feast and Famine from Gerry.
Yeah.
Gerry spends...
These Oblivion Rings might just be the most important cards in the mirror.
They certainly were the most important cards back in the day with, not even very far back in the day, with the blue-white decks versus blue-white decks. During, like, that kind of Super Friends era.
Yeah. Time for reinforcements.
You've got more creatures than me. Is that okay?
Yeah, without Snow, I think that with Sword and Planeswalkers being the important cards, it might just be that Oblivion Ring's the important card here, and Gerry might just have the edge because of it.
And there are the soldiers.
Did Gerry gain 6 there?
He did not.
He did not? Okay.
Another land from Alex. Alex now has 7 land to Gerry's 5. This is actually very significant.
Yeah.
And I believe we're going to see a Colonnade come in and kill the Jace.
Yep. That's what it looks like to me he's planning on doing. Unless he's planning on just dropping Gideon.
Boink.
I'd rather just take out the Jace.
Goodbye, Jace.
Gerry does only have 2, and I'm pretty sure Alex and Gerry are like reasonably close enough that they know exactly what's up here.
Yep.
Gerry debating an Into the Royal on that Spellskite.
He does it. Gerry does have Sword of Feast and Famine in hand.
Yeah.
So, Alex says okay. I presume a sword's going to be cast.
Yep.
And Alex has the question, do I Mana Leak it just to keep you from equipping it?
No, he hasn't Into the Royal. I think you just let him equip.
Mana Leak.
Oh, no.
Taps him down. In for 3.
Reinforcements suddenly on time as opposed to early game.
Now, Alex has timely reinforcements in his own deck, so if he has one in his hand, that's certainly reasonable. Is that an Oblivion Ring in his hand as well? No, he does not have Oblivion Ring.
Yeah. This is the one thing I don't like about the Flores list. There's no just like Windmill Slam threat that he can play here just to come back into the game.
There's his own reinforcements. And a hawk.
Yep.
And a hawk.
That's not going to end well. I think that this is going to result in a Gideon draw. Unless Alex has his own to trade, I don't know if that's what he wants to be doing.
Alex untaps. Activates Colonnade. Sends the team at Gideon because he has to.
Yep. Not an option. Mandatory.
So Gerry has to block at least 2 of these soldiers.
Probably blocking exactly 2 so he can keep up Feast of Famine.
Gideon goes to 1.
Yeah. Or let's rephrase. Keep up Feast of Famine without exposing Gideon to the attack here.
And another
That's the Spellskite.
Spellskite. Twisted Image? Oh?
That would be so
That would
awesome,
be so
dude.
sick.
Oh, wow. That would be game-breaking. Gerry taps 2.
Is that going to be an Into the Royal?
Nope, just a Ponder.
Ponder. I saw
Shuffle
3 cards
away.
that suck.
Colonnade and 2 lands, it looked like to me.
Yeah. I mean, so what did he just do there? He just, in a late game situation, gets to look at 4 cards instead of 3. Maybe Ponder is the next wave. I don't know.
Yeah.
That seemed really awesome to me.
I don't know, but like, that was that scenario. But what about the scenarios where you look at your cards?
Where you
you're
get 2 good cards?
2 good cards and a bad card, or a bad card, 2 good. Like, I'd rather just have more control in those scenarios.
O-ring.
Sword on in. Maybe everybody in. Nope, decides not to go for the super turbo kill. Probably because Alex has all the mana lands just to block.
Attack Gideon, please. He's got a mana leak in hand, I think, and land.
Yep. And he has a colonnade in play as alongside a tectonic edge.
Gideon is not long for this world.
It might be. That tectonic edge is going to keep it off of hitting.
But the 3 other creatures kill Gideon still.
He also has the Celestial Colonnade to block. So
and Alex does not have a edge of his own?
No, he does not.
Okay, fair enough.
So Alex is going to have to commit all of his guys to attacking this turn in order to kill it. I think you want to attack with Nexus, Alex, because then... yeah, that seems like a mistake.
Here they come. Yeah, you gotta spend some mana. Now, Celestial Colonnade would be pretty awesome if you got to activate it for 0.
Yes. I think that might be one of the best lands of all time.
Yeah.
If not the.
I like Library of Alexandria.
You take Library over 0 mana to activate Colonnade?
Never mind.
It has Vigilance. It just attacks every turn. So Gideon goes down. So does a Squadron Hawk. And it looks like the Colonnade survived.
I don't think he has a tech edge. I think Gerry doesn't have one right now.
I thought he did bury. He might have not used it.
Oh, double Sword of Feast and Famine. Ouch. That's my hand, says Alex. There goes Gideon and a Hawk.
Looks like he was trying to untap and stick that Gideon, but...
wow.
Yeah, Gerry might have just not used the Tectonic Edge because, why use it when the Gideon's going to die anyways? Just eat his guy and just continue on with your... I was going to say life, but game plan's also a reasonable way to put it.
9 to 15. Alex activates Colonnade. Colonnade comes in alone.
Might see a Tectonic activation here.
I don't... is one of those glaring cards at the top an edge?
Yes.
I don't think so.
And again, I try and tilt my head to get rid of the glare.
I know, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know that there is one in
I thought I saw one up there.
It
He might
doesn't
just
look
not
like it to
care.
me.
He
It
might
looks
be
like
saving
Glacial
away. Oh,
Chasm.
there's the... Yeah, Consecrated Sphinx should seal the deal here.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes,
5,
yeah.
6, and Alex
Yeah,
throws his hands in the air.
Definition
like, wow.
of deal being sealed there.
Look at that. He's like hand through his hair.
Yeah, that's
draw.
Still have all of these things.
And Alex is
Dead.
not a Day of Judgment deck.
Hacking his lands up, it looks like. Yeah.
Scoopity.
Okay, let's look to the sideboards here. Gerry has a Balerion to even up with Alex. He might board in a Deprive. I can see that being reasonable.
I like a Deprive in that.
Do you board in Twisted Image thinking Alex leaves in Spellskite or no?
Alex is not going to leave in Spellskite. I mean, even if it protects your sword, is it worth it?
Well, he doesn't have Oblivion Rings where Gerry does, so it might be worth having a couple Spellskites to counter that.
That's fair.
Other than that, he's only got 2 Revokes, Ratchet Bomb, no. Timely Reinforcements, probably not. I think he just wants to deprive Jace Balerion. Maybe Mental Misstep, but I don't think that's really necessary.
Other side of the table.
Though Gerry probably wants to board out 2 days.
What do you think of
just 2 days, maybe
the theory? I think this might have been either Lou Laskin or Drew Levin, who a while back, not at the very height of Clawblade, but before that, liked 1 Day of Judgment after board just to reset the world from a terrible situation.
That was always the card I hated the most because or it used to be, whenever you data judgmented, you never passed yourself from a losing situation into a winning situation. You always pass yourself from a losing situation into a situation where you pass the turn and they have a chance to come back out ahead because they get to make the first play. It was very rare that Day of Judgment was good. Alex has... Neither player really wants to revoke existence. Alex wants revoke existence, actually.
Yeah, I think he does.
I think Alex boards 2 revoke existence here. Maybe mental misstep again. I'm not, well versed in this matchup. We're well enough versed in this matchup to know. And definitely both Titans.
At least the Sun Titan.
Probably just both. Probably just want guys.
We saw him play before, and did he have a Frost Titan?
That wasn't this matchup. Oh, it was this matchup.
It was this matchup.
He boarded
in Frost Titan. So that's going to be both Titans coming in then.
Probably boards out a Dismember, a Spellskite, and... I don't think we saw Revoke Existence from him last time, but he didn't really see that many cards.
How do you feel about Timely Reinforcements or Gideon Jura in this match?
Timely Reinforcements might not be that good. It might be situational. I don't know.
Timely Reinforcements is good if you're losing, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, the question is, like, you don't want to manufacture
a losing board state to work. Sure. It's not really.
It's too easy to have it go badly for you.
Though to be fair, one Squadron Hawk isn't losing that hard. One. I guess against Jerry's deck, it's not going to be one Spellskite. It's going to be one Mirror Angle, which is losing pretty hard. But
yeah, when do you cast it? Right, like, do you cast it on turn 3 and then have them potentially cast an Emiria Angel or a Jace Bellerin? Do you cast it on turn 4 and then like there's a lot. You have to really wait till like turn 5 before it's.
Well, we saw what Gerry did last game, where he just sort of.
Well, do you remember why Gerry did it, though, right? He had nothing in his hand, and he was just like...
That's true.
He was just like, well, here we go.
He didn't have to engineer the losing board, so
yeah, he was losing.
Walked right into it.
Yeah. I mean, it's all fine and dandy to be like this. Man, I hope I top deck a Timely Reinforcements.
Yep.
But it's another thing entirely to decide whether or not you want to have it in your deck before you shuffle up.
That's fair. I can see cutting them. I like the rest of his cards, though.
I really like something that Prolepsis 9 writes. Is
Bing
that Bing
Luke?
Luke?
Yep,
yeah.
That is Bing Luke.
He's like, awesome. Gerry T versus Bertoncini, Quablade mirror match going on. Mix of fascinating nuance and incredible boredom.
Yep. And Jarvis Yu, who designed the Quablade deck that Tim Skowski won 2 weeks ago with, is mentioning that he's not a fan of the Flores list, and basically saying he wants to play the cards that Jerry's playing as the threats.
I think it's a very narrow list, which maybe was more reasonable when you had Stoneforge Mystic. I'm guessing we have land with our first play on turn 3 here. Nope, it's land.
I thought they were still shuffling for their hands. No, just the Hawks.
Shuffling for Hawks.
Yep. Gerry has a Colonnade, whereas Alex has a basic, and they both have a blue white dual to go with that.
Yeah. Gerry also has a signed Squadron Hawk, which
I hope that's Brian Kibler signed, because I would be very amused.
A Inky and a Sword.
Okay.
And that is an Alex Bertoncini signed Hawk.
Oh, it might be all the level 8. That might be what it is. Edgar, Gerry, AJ, and Alex.
Yep.
Sword gets Oblivion Ring.
Preordain.
Alex has now added a manland to his board in the form of Nexus. That was last turn, actually. Alex keeps 1, ships 1 off Preordain. Plays a Glacial Fortress.
Attack.
Hawks trade.
Just that moment right there, trading Hawk for Hawk, that is a great example of what kind of pacing do you want?
Yeah,
and both players
sides.
Making the decision of where they want the pacing to be.
Alex finding his last Hawk here. Gerry looks like he's debating between Hawks or Angels.
Hawk?
Yep. Yeah, I think that's signed by all 4 levels.
I think you're correct.
One of them had germ tokens for their batter skulls that were all the different level 8s.
I actually really liked Edgar Flores' Batter Skulls, where it was just himself.
The
His germs were just himself.
That's pretty appropriate. Just make yourself the face of your own cards.
I'll block.
Just to me.
I will attack.
Tectonic Edge down the colonnade.
Lays another Squadron Hawk. Leaves a blue land open. Blue-white
not the
Seacrum
preordained.
Coast. And notice here, he did not attack this time.
Yeah. Maybe once he realized Gerry was willing to trade, that that might not be where he wanted to go.
Well, let's pretend, right, that like... Yeah, exactly. Gerry, he offered the trade. Gerry said yes, and now he's like, well, maybe with your hand, I shouldn't do the trade offers anymore.
Right.
Emiria Angel, ouch. Dismember is very important here. There we go.
Okay.
Boom.
Alex remains in this game.
So it was Emiria go. No land for Gerry.
No, he got Tech Edge.
I mean, from this turn, I mean, yeah, you're right. He laid the 4th land.
Yeah.
My bad. Preordained from Alex.
Keep 1, ship 1. Gerry looks like he's got a sword in adjacent hand that he's trying to set up.
And another Tectonic Edge.
Jarvis, you comments in on the timely reinforcement situation. He says he doesn't really like it because it gets trumped by all the real threats like Hero and Emiria Angel and Splicer. I can agree with that.
Yeah. One of the things that's kind of fun about watching Alex play is he's more likely than anyone I know to put his hand over his forehead and be like, oh god, what now?
He's a very animated person.
Jace Bellerin gets spell pierced.
Yep. Exactly what Alex needs to do. Just
white mana open for Gerry. This is an opportunity for Alex to connect with something valuable. He throws a creature in, does a little bit of a trade.
Yeah. Probably going to try and resolve his own
Gideon,
play as well.
perhaps?
Nope.
Nope, just another Squadron Hawk. Says go.
Interesting.
2 cards in hand. He might not have very much. There's a Preordain from Gerry.
Yeah. No more Hawks left for Alex. I think it's 1 more Hawk left for Gerry.
I've lost count at this point. I think you're correct, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Gerry has 1 in play, 2 in graveyard from trading, and 1 in hand. Yep. Gerry draws
that
a
Tectonic Edge.
Yep.
Lays it.
Edge,
Lays
play
the
a
last
Hawk.
That's either
He has a Gideon and a sword in hand.
2 very powerful cards.
Yep.
Alex lays the 6th land.
Does he have a Titan here? Because
That'd be pretty good.
that would change things up very quickly.
I can't see it all. I can't see anything about what those cards are. Frosty.
That is a Titan.
He's like, got a mana leak for me? It's fine. He's like, hit the blue source, right?
Yep. Hit the.
Is that a Seacrum Coast?
Yep.
And he's like, wait a second, I might have some mana. Put some mana in my pool.
Debating about this into the Royal. That looks like the last card in his hand, right? Into the Royal?
I think so.
Into the Royal Sword, Gideon.
And in comes a Squadron Hawk. At this point now, it's Plains, Island, Tech Edge. Gideon Gerry comes down from a top-decked land. Whew.
So,
Gideon is not very exciting against our... well, it's actually pretty good. Never mind. He's got 2 Squadron Hawks to help keep it alive.
Yep. If Alex has a bounce or removal spell...
All it takes is a 1 removal spell, and then Alex can take care of that Gideon.
Dismember or Into the Royal... Gerry's debating whether he might want to kill that Hawk instead.
He's no. It's, I think I'm.
That's a preordain.
Boom!
Oh, what was it?
Dismember.
There we go.
And everybody comes in, and the
Squadron
Frosty
Hawk.
takes care of the Squadron Hawk, and then that means that and he lays his own Gideon. Ouch!
These games are so swingy,
Oh.
but not in a bad way. In the way
Yeah.
where one player just sets up these insane blowouts.
And now Gerry has no creatures to be able to put his Sword of Feast and Famine on.
He's got it into the Royal.
Look at where the board is at. I mean,
Is
Gerry
that
has
the Ponder?
nothing.
That might be the Ponder. I can't really... Or into the Royal. There we go.
5 mana.
Oblivion Ring.
Oblivion Ring?
Yep. Opting to pay the 2.
Yep. And in comes the team. That's for 1 poison and for 8 damage.
Mm-hmm. 1 poison can add up.
Yep. And Alex just lays the land. Hey, I got nothing. No cards. Into the Royal in Gerry's hand. Says go.
Yeah. What happened to the Squadron Hawk? I might have gotten eaten by Gideon. That's what it was. The turn he played Gideon, he ate the Squadron Hawk after tapping you with Frostbite.
Yes, that's correct.
Gerry does have the Day of Judgment in his hand.
I would not be surprised if Gerry casts Into the Royal with Kicker at the end of this turn.
He's at 11. 19 minus the 8 from last time.
To go to 3 actually might be a little low. I mean, 3 might be too low.
I think 3 is fine, because you're going to Day the Hawks and try and draw a mana leak.
Royal with Kicker. 2 mana available.
Oh!
Wow, what a rip.
Yeah.
That's magic.
Late game top deck mana leak. Probably for the win.
I think that's going to be game. Yep.
Okay,
Wow.
so going to 3 here. Whew. These Coldblade Mirrors are certainly a lot more exciting than the old ones, I feel
I've never thought they were boring. I can't remember if I was talking with Gavin Verhey or if it was Jacob Van Lunen about this. It might be Gavin, where we love watching them, and we know other people are often not excited about it, but I think it's awesome.
My problem with the old one was that decision-making bogged the games down too long because there were too many things going on because of all the equips and all the Stoneforges. You're like, do I move Mortar Pod? Do I get Mortar Pod? Like,
do I play Stoneforge?
Yeah. There was just so many different options that games bogged down more in decision time, I feel like. Whereas these, it's just, your cards are in your hand. It's pretty straightforward as to, like, you have this, they could have this. It's not like I can equip Sword or Mortar Pod or other Sword or, activate Stoneforge or all these other things.
Alex is re-sideboarding, Gerry is re-sideboarding, and now a lot of this has to do, in my opinion, with the question of play or draw, and very marginal differences in utility. But I mean, those margins matter.
Timely reinforcements.
Yeah. Look at Alex. He's
actually,
like, what?
Does reinforcements get better on the play or on the draw?
On the draw?
Why?
Because?
Just like if you're on the play and they have Hawk and you don't, it's better.
I think it actually is better on the play.
Yeah.
Because if they go turn 2 Hawk, you can go turn 3 timely reinforcements.
Yes.
And then if they lay Jace on their turn, they have to plus it.
Yeah. That was I initially thought oh, maybe on the drawing board, and then just wait a second.
On the play, you probably have.
It beats them down on the play.
But again, let's go back.
Then on the draw, if they don't have a Squadron Hawk, are you inclined to not play your Hawk on 2 because they didn't play theirs and they might just be setting you up?
I see you bested my giant. So clearly, I'll take the... Anyway. I mean, there's that rabbit hole you can go down where you can try to play against the play, against the play, against the play you think your opponent's going to make. But historically, the usual best thing to do is try to beat their best obvious play.
Yeah.
From a game theory perspective, in any case.
Sure.
We've got Alex here on the right, Gerry Thompson on the left. This is round 9 of the Open Series here in Pittsburgh.
Round 9 of 9.
Round 9 of 9. These two here, these two titans of the Star City Games Open Series, are playing for top 8 here.
And in case you just arrived, I'm Ari Lax here with Adrian Sullivan.
Hello, everybody out there in internet lands.
Alex Bertoncini is, Gerry T has the choice of play or draw this game.
Now, one of the things that I find actually really interesting, right? We're talking about the next leveling of people's strategy. I think that it's actually really, really a huge advantage to play first in this matchup. But let's pretend you think you're being really sneaky, and you're like, aha, I see they're re-sideboarding for game 3. I don't think this is the right play, but I can see someone out there coming up with a plan that involves next leveling your opponent and going on the draw after they've sideboarded to be on the play.
I have
Or,
only,
you know what I mean, the other way around.
I've only played one deck in the history of constructed decks that I've played where you wanted to draw first.
I think that the play is, the extra tempo is so huge. Colonnade v Colonnade, and then Seachrome Coast, go. Alex probably
This is probably the scenario we were talking about.
Boom, right there. Alex with the finger. Do you want to stop this? Nope. Okay, here it is. Timely reinforcements.
Jace Belair.
Jace works pretty well.
Yeah.
Draw a card. This is exactly the kind of scenario where I think being on the play matters, right? Because at this point, on turn 3, I think that the best play that you can possibly do here involves dropping maybe a Sword of Feast and Famine, because that Jace itself, if you like drop a Jace to kill his Jace, and he goes a Myria Angel, it's just devastating.
Yeah, you can't afford to tap out here, but you have to make some progress.
Yeah, so I mean, that extra turn is huge, because it means that the Jace gets to do some work.
A Myria Angel isn't necessarily the biggest backbreaker, because on 4, it doesn't actually get a token, it can just be dismembered on the spot.
That's fair. Alex has 1 mana open, action for Dismember or Spell Pierce.
Yep.
Gerry, I don't think, has an extra land, unless I'm missing... Oh, there it is. There's a Plains hiding. So notice he does not lay that land before he casts the Stoneforge Mystic. Or sorry, the... not the Stoneforge Mystic. The Squadron Hawk.
Unless someone's going to be playing War of Attrition, I don't think they're going to be Stoneforge Mysticing anyone.
But the thing that's interesting about him doing that is it gives his opponent like a slight less like information. Now, here, because it's only Dismember open, it's not as big of a deal. But that's like the timing of when you play your lands can affect whether someone wants to do certain plays.
Right.
Here, this was not the example where that actually comes into play. 4 mana, Alex Bertoncini, 2 Hawks versus 2 Hawks. Let's offer the trade. Here we are.
Trade down.
And then Alex, 4 manas, tapping his lands in opposite directions, refills the board.
Gerry has a threat here.
Gideon Gerard would be pretty amazing right now.
One of them in his deck would be pretty good.
And it looks like he's just gonna clog up the board, I think.
Yep. Clog up the board, grind some Jace advantage.
Draws an Into the Royal. Lays a Squadron Hawk, lays a tapped 5th land, a Celestial Colonnade number 2. Alex, once again...
Jace to 5.
Wow, did he up it?
Yep.
Wow. I suppose the alternative is to have it be Jace to 2 and have double Dismember kill the Jace.
Something like, or even just upping it lets him put Alex into a scenario where his options are lined up now, and then Gerry just reads his plays and just continues on and gets more and more cards over that time, as opposed to giving Alex,
they both come at Jace.
More draw steps in the middle of his options.
And right now, Gerry those are all the Hawks, right?
No
that was a double trade.
Opposite
Gideon,
again
boom.
to play Gideon.
Draw a card.
Gerry does have Into the Royal for this Gideon, so...
It's not unreasonable to main phase it right now. I see you are tapped out, my friend. Is that the Ponder?
Mm-hmm.
×1 Ponder. Looks like Tech Edge, Preordain, and land. I don't mind going Tech Edge and Preordain. And
that's fair.
Drawing a Tech Edge, which is valuable, and then drawing a Preordain for later.
That's true.
And that's exactly what he does.
It's possible that Alex's line here is actually just based around getting to 6 and playing his Titans, and Gerry just wants to keep him off of that. I think Gerry's just going to let this... Oh, no.
Oblivion Ring. Such an incredible card in this matchup. And look at that. Alex covers up his Gideon entirely. Just like, yeah, it's gone. Yep. I can't even see it. I don't even want to know what's under there.
I was thinking there might be a line where you double Tech Edge, let Jace die, and then use your other Jace in hand. And just sort of use that as a way to get in the turn where you have the mana to double Tech Edge Alex. Because I don't think Alex has any real threats for 4 or less mana here.
Now, Gerry has only 1 Dismember. He could have boarded in. No, he doesn't have any. So if he's got a land, he can actually land, kill with with the colonnade, kill the Jace?
He does have Tectonic Edge up.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did not see
yeah.
the edge up.
Yeah.
Jace for Jace? Nope. Sword of Feast and Famine.
Not really the fight that's going on right now.
Gerry's hands at the side of his hand. He's like, yep, yep. What you doing? Yep, 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 yep. Give me a second.
Let me know when you draw and play your Sun Titan so I can stop it and win.
Picks up his hand. Alex's go. End of the turn. Does he want a Tech Edge here? Maybe Teching Edge that that Seachrome Coast, for example.
Probably the Nexus, if anything.
Preordain. 2 cards. One on the bottom, one on the top.
I don't think Gerry's going to go on the aggro anytime soon. I think
Gerry draws a Mana Leak.
Ooh, that might be incentive to start Tech Edging. Yeah, I think he wanted to hit the Nexus, because if the Colonnade activates, it's going to trade his 5 for Gerry's... his 5, or 6 mana with the Colonnade for Gerry's 2 for the Tech Edge.
Gerry kills the Colonnade now.
I think I would have rather gone for the Nexus, just because the Colonnade's a larger investment in mana to get going and start hitting with the sword. Or, I mean, Nexus plus sword is less mana.
Gerry moves to discard, and Alex is like, back up, man, back up. I got an end of turn play. Taps out and casts into the Royal, targeting the Oblivion Ring.
Yep.
This is a spell that is going to likely summon a counterspell from Gerry.
Gerry does have an Into the Royal of his own that might be better. He does have the other...
No discard.
I thought he was scooping up his cards for a second. I'm like, what?
Nope.
I thought he was going to Into the Royal of the Gideon and then Tectonic Edge Alex off of mana so that he can't recast it. But,
if Alex has a Tech Edge in his hand, he actually has a really awesome line of play.
What's the line?
Well, it's too late now. It would have been to kill the blue source and then demand that Gerry use that source to kill the Blinkmoth right away. And then if he doesn't, activate the sword, put it on.
Yep. So they trade off some Tech Edges, down to 4 lands apiece now. Gerry still has this active Jace that is putting him
Jace
very
has been
much
just
further ahead.
devastating, Alex.
Gerry found his Gideon, puts them both on top, plays them.
A Myria Angel. Wow. Lands, just cast it. It's like, hey, I've got this card. What are you gonna do about it?
Hope you have a Dismember, and by hope I mean you better hope.
Into the Royal with Kicker. Jace v. Jace. Dismember.
Okay.
Pretty good turn, but I mean,
there's still a Gideon on top for Gerry.
Alex is down to 2 cards in hand, and Gerry last turn was going to try to discard.
Yeah.
Like, look at Alex. He wears his game on his face. Now the thing is that sometimes when he's doing that though, he's acting.
Sure.
In this situation, I don't think that's the case. Gideon hits the table for Gerry. Untap, 4 for the Gideon, knocks Gideon to 4, says go. Look at that. Gerry has, what, 6 cards? 7 cards in hand?
Might be a full grip. He has enough cards.
He has a few.
He has more than Alex, and that's the important part.
Yeah, that's a 7-card hand.
Gideon crashes in for 6.
Alex untaps.
Gerry's representing a Colonnade trade here.
Ponder.
Preordain.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Preordain, my bad.
Ship both.
Offers up the trade. Gerry says, sure. Okay. There we go. Sword. Jace.
Even better than
draw.
Sword.
He's got a Twisted Image in hand. Just in case.
Gets in for 6 again, putting Alex to 4, I think.
I think the hand is going to be extended in a moment.
Yep.
There we are.
All swords and nothing to prevent the board state from changing. And it looks like Gerry T is going to advance to the top 8. with Alex having to settle for a top 16 and possibly catching Edgar tomorrow.
Alex has a sad look on his face there. Oh, and Gerry excited. So for those of you who are just joining us, we just concluded the match between Gerry Thompson and Alex Bertoncini.
Yep.
Round 9 here, playing for top 8.
Yep.
2 level 8 mages, Cawblade v. Cawblade. Edgar Flores' build in Alex's hand, losing to Gerry Thompson's build.
We haven't seen a good level 8 battle since all of last week, right?
I can't remember. I know there have been some recently.
Alex
though.
and Edgar played in the top 8 last week, and Alex lost again.
I'm not sure if we're able to. We're gonna see about getting another match, but we might not have anywhere near enough time. And if that's the case, what we'll be doing is we'll be seeing a top 8 match for the next bit of information.
Well, first of all, we'll be seeing who's in top 8.
Yeah, who's in top 8?
What's in top 8? That's,
absolutely.
So, yeah. So, when we start the top 8, we will be having a Twitter question, as usual, for premium.
Right.
I believe it's 3 months of premium for the first.
3 months. Now, we were talking about premium earlier, and pretty much, I've talked to people that are competitors of Star City Games, and they say they read Star City Games Premium, and that if you don't read it, you're not doing the right stuff to be a competitive player.